Every single word you speak to yourself is shaping the reality you walk into. You don't even realize it, but your mind is listening to every thought, every sentence, every belief you repeat. And here's the truth. Your mind doesn't argue with you. It doesn't stop and say, wait, that's not true. No, it takes whatever you feed it and makes it real. You say, I'm not good enough, and your mind goes to work, proving you right. You say, I'll never make it, and suddenly you start seeing obstacles everywhere. You speak doubt, and your actions follow that doubt. But the same way it works in the negative, it works in the positive. You tell yourself, I am built for this, and your mind starts looking for proof. You say, I have everything I need to win, and suddenly you start seeing opportunities instead of obstacles. Some of you have been talking to yourself like an enemy. You tear yourself down before life even has a chance to do it. You walk into a room already thinking they won't take me seriously. You start a new goal already telling yourself, I'll probably fail. And then you wonder why you feel stuck. It's because your words are setting the tone for your life before you even take action. You ever see somebody who just moves different? Somebody who walks in and you can feel their confidence before they even open their mouth? That's not an accident. That's training. That's years of feeding their mind the right words, the right thoughts, the right beliefs. Because when you master your self-talk, you master your reality. Let me tell you something. Your words are creating your world. Some of you are out here hoping, wishing, praying for a breakthrough, but every word out of your mouth is the opposite of what you're asking for. You say you want success, but you keep telling yourself you're not ready. You say you want change, but you keep calling yourself lazy, undisciplined, incapable. Listen to me. How can you expect to build a different life when you won't even speak a different language? For the next 3 days, I need you to shift the way you talk to yourself. No more speaking defeat. No more I can't. No more I'm not enough. Every time that old script starts playing in your head, you stop it immediately and you replace it with power. You say, I am strong. You say, I am equipped. You say, I am unstoppable. And don't just say it in your mind, speak it out loud, feel it in your chest, own it, because the more you say it, the more your mind will believe it. The more your mind believes it, the more you will start acting like it. And here's the best part. This isn't just motivation, this is science. Your brain is wired to reinforce whatever you focus on. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad, your brain just wants to prove you right. So if you keep telling yourself you're not capable, your brain is going to find every reason to back that up. But if you start telling yourself you are powerful, if you start feeding your mind with belief instead of doubt, your brain will go to work finding ways to make that true. 3 days, that's all I'm asking. 3 days of talking to yourself like you are built for greatness. 3 days of shutting down every negative thought and replacing it with words of power. 3 days of looking in the mirror and speaking life instead of defeat. And watch. Just watch how everything about your energy shifts. You don't need a new opportunity, a new connection, a new environment. You need a new conversation with yourself, because once that changes, everything else follows. Most people don't even realize it, but they've been telling themselves the same story for years. The same excuses, the same doubts, the same limits. And they don't question it because it's familiar, it's comfortable. But let me ask you something. How's that story working out for you? How far has it taken you? How many opportunities have you talked yourself out of? How many times have you told yourself, I'm not ready, I don't have what it takes, I'll never be as good as them? Listen to me, your life is running on a script that you wrote. And if that script is keeping you small, if it's keeping you stuck, then it's time to rewrite it. Because if you don't change the way you talk to yourself, you will keep living the same reality over and over again. You ever notice how quick we are to remember every failure, every mistake, every time we fell short? Some of you are holding on to things from years ago, replaying them like they just happened yesterday. And every time you think about moving forward, that old voice comes in, reminding you of all the reasons you can't. But let me tell you something. You are not that person anymore. You are not your past. You are not your failures. You are not your worst moments. For the next 3 days, I need you to flip the script. No more repeating the same self-defeating words. No more carrying around old labels that don't serve you. From this moment on, you only speak to yourself like the person you want to become. You stop saying, I'm not good enough, and you start saying, I am more than capable. You stop saying, I always mess things up, and you start saying, I learn and grow from every experience. You stop saying, I don't have what it takes, and you start saying, I was built for this. And listen, I'm not saying this is going to feel natural at first. I get it. You've spent years reinforcing the old script. Your mind is comfortable with it. So when you start changing the conversation, it's going to push back. That old voice is going to try to creep in. It's going to tell you, you're just lying to yourself. This isn't really you. But you've got to push through that. You've got to keep speaking power until your mind has no choice but to believe it. Because here's the truth. Your brain is always listening. It doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's repeated. It just takes in what you feed it. So if you've spent years feeding it doubt, fear, and insecurity, it makes sense that you feel stuck. But the second you start feeding it confidence, belief, and strength, everything starts to shift. Let me ask you something. What would happen if for just 3 days you refuse to speak one negative word about yourself? What if for just 3 days you only spoke to yourself like someone who knows they're going to win? Imagine waking up and instead of saying, I'm tired, I don't feel like it, you say, I'm ready, today is mine. Imagine looking in the mirror and instead of picking yourself apart, you say, I am strong, I am enough, I am exactly who I need to be. At first, it might feel strange, it might feel forced, but I promise you, you stay with it, something in you will start to shift. You'll walk different, you'll move different, you'll carry yourself with a new energy. And people will notice. They'll look at you and say, something's different about you. But the truth is, it's not something, it's someone. It's the version of you that was always there waiting for permission to show up. This is your moment. This is your time to break the cycle, to rewrite the story, to speak yourself into a new reality. Because the words you say today are shaping the life you'll live tomorrow. So from this moment forward, you speak like a champion. You speak like a winner. You speak like someone who refuses to stay the same. Because once you change the way you talk to yourself, everything else will follow. You can't just whisper greatness to yourself. You can't mumble confidence under your breath and expect to walk in power. No! You have to declare it. You have to say it like you believe it. You have to speak it with so much conviction that there's no room for doubt to exist. Some of you are wondering why your affirmations don't work, why you still feel weak, even though you've been telling yourself, I am strong. It's because you're saying it without believing it. You're saying it like you're trying to convince yourself instead of claiming it like it's already yours. Let me tell you something. Your words carry weight. But the power in your words isn't just in what you say, it's in how you say it. Think about the last time somebody doubted you, the last time somebody told you you weren't good enough. Did you just sit there and whisper, I disagree? No, you got fired up, you stood your ground, you made sure they knew you weren't backing down. So why is it that when it comes to you, when it comes to your own life, your own success, your own future, you're silent? You can hype up everybody else, you can defend everybody else. But when it comes to speaking power over your own life, you get quiet no more. For the next 3 days, I need you to start speaking to yourself like you mean it. You wake up, and before you even grab your phone, you tell yourself, I am built for this. I am powerful. I am unstoppable. And you don't say it like you're hoping it's true. You say it like it is true, because it is. You ever notice how the most confident people don't second guess their words? When they speak, they don't hesitate. They don't add maybe or I hope or I'll try. No, they declare things. They say, this is who I am. This is what I'm going to do. This is how it's going to happen. And because they say it with conviction, their actions follow. Some of you are waiting to feel confident before you speak confidence, but that's not how this works. You don't wait until you feel powerful to speak power. You speak power until you become powerful. You don't wait until you feel strong to say, I am strong. You say, I am strong until there's no choice but for your mind, your body, and your actions to align with that truth. And listen, this isn't about faking it. This isn't about pretending to be something you're not. This is about activating what's already inside you, because deep down, you know you got more in you. Deep down, you know you were meant for more than what you've been settling for. But until you speak like it, until you move like it, until you own it, you'll keep playing small. Right now, I need you to think about the words you've been saying to yourself. Really think about them. Would you talk to your best friend the way you talk to yourself? Will you tell your friend you're not good enough, you'll never make it, you always mess up? No. So why do you think it's okay to talk to you like that? If you wouldn't say it to someone you love, then you never say it to yourself. For 3 days, I want you to stand in front of that mirror and speak life into yourself. I want you to say, I am powerful. I am capable. I am relentless. And I don't want you to just say it. I want you to mean it. I want you to feel it in your chest. I want you to say it so loud that every ounce of doubt gets drowned out by the sound of your own voice. And I promise you, if you do this, something in you is going to shift. You will start moving differently. You will start making different decisions. You will stop tolerating things that don't serve you. Because the moment you start speaking with conviction, the moment you start talking to yourself like a winner, you will start walking like one. And once you start walking like one, there is nothing that can stop you. You can say all the right things, but if your actions don't match your words, it doesn't mean anything. You can look in the mirror every morning and say, I'm disciplined, I'm focused, I'm unstoppable. But if you keep hitting snooze, if you keep making excuses, if you keep choosing comfort over growth, then guess what? You're lying to yourself. And that's the problem. Some of you are speaking the words, but you're not living them. You're declaring success, but you're not moving like someone who's successful. You're saying you want change, but you're not backing it up with action. Listen to me. Your words have power, but only when they are followed by movement. You don't become disciplined by saying you're disciplined. You become disciplined by showing up even when you don't feel like it. You don't become great by talking about your goals. You become great by doing the work every single day, whether you feel motivated or not. Some of you have been stuck for so long, and you think it's because you don't have the right opportunity. You think it's because you don't have the right connections, the right resources, the right circumstances. No. The reason you're stuck is because your words and your actions don't line up. You say you want to be successful, but your habits tell a different story. You say you're serious about your future, but you keep playing around with your time. And until you align what you say with what you do, nothing is going to change. You ever see somebody who just moves with a different energy? Somebody who walks in and you can tell they're locked in, they're focused, they're about their business. That's not an accident. That's someone whose words and actions are in sync. That's someone who doesn't just say they're going to win, they move like a winner. That's someone who doesn't just talk about discipline, they live it. For the next 3 days, I need you to do more than just speak the right words. I need you to act on them. When you say I am disciplined, you prove it by showing up for yourself no matter what. When you say I am unstoppable, you prove it by pushing through resistance, by refusing to quit when it gets hard. When you say I am built for this, you prove it by stepping up, taking responsibility, and getting the job done no matter what it takes. And listen, I know it's easy to talk a big game. It's easy to say, I'm going to wake up early, I'm going to go work harder, I'm going to stay focused. But the question is, what happens when it's not easy? What happens when the alarm goes off and you don't feel like getting up? What happens when distractions come in, when your emotions start messing with you, when things don't go as planned? Because that's the test right there. That's where you separate the ones who talk about success from the ones who actually go get it. You want to know the difference between the ones who make it and the ones who don't? It's not talent. It's not intelligence. It's not luck. It's consistency. It's discipline. It's the ability to do what you said you were going to do even when you don't feel like it. So for the next 3 days, I don't want to just hear what you're saying. I want to see what you're doing. If you say you're focused, I want to see you cutting out distractions. If you say you're committed, I want to see you showing up even when it's uncomfortable. If you say you're ready to go to the next level, I want to see you moving like it, grinding like it, executing like it. Because at the end of the day, It's not your words that will determine your future. It's your actions. And once your actions start matching your words, there is no limit to what you can achieve. For the next 3 days, I need you to do something you probably haven't done before. I need you to completely shut down every ounce of negativity that comes out of your mouth. No excuses. Nothing that even sounds like defeat. Because whether you realize it or not, every time you speak weakness, every time you let doubt slip out, you are reinforcing a version of yourself that is keeping you from your potential. Most people never get to that next level, not because they aren't capable, not because they aren't talented, but because they keep allowing their words to work against them. They wake up already talking about how tired they are. They go through their day complaining about everything that's wrong. They get to a challenge and the first thing out of their mouth is, I don't know if I can do this. And then they wonder why they feel stuck. They wonder why nothing is changing. Let me tell you something. Your words set the tone for your life. If you keep speaking like someone who's struggling, you will keep living like someone who's struggling. If you keep talking about problems, you will keep seeing problems. But if for the next 3 days, you only allow words of power, words of faith, words of certainty to come out of your mouth, everything around you will start to shift. You ever notice how when you're around people who constantly complain, your energy drops? You could be having a good day, feeling positive, but the moment you start engaging in negativity, your whole mood changes. That's because words don't just describe reality, they create it. So if your environment is negative, if your thoughts are negative, if your words are negative, you will start feeling drained, unmotivated, defeated. But the second you change what comes out of your mouth, the second you make a decision to speak power, your energy shifts, your mindset shifts, your whole reality starts moving in a different direction. For the next 3 days, I want you to pay attention to every single word you say. The moment you start to say, I can't, stop yourself and say, I can figure this out. The moment you want to say, this is too hard, flip it and say, this challenge is making me stronger. When you catch yourself about to complain, switch it up and say, I'm grateful for what I have and I'm working for what I want. Because what you say is programming your mind. It's either making you stronger or making you weaker, and you get to decide which one it's going to be. This isn't just about being positive. This isn't some feel-good exercise. This is about training your mind to operate on a higher level. Champions don't waste words on weakness. Winners don't speak like victims. They don't sit around complaining, doubting, second-guessing themselves. They talk like the people they want to become. They say, I am built for this. I find solutions. I don't quit. I make things happen. And because they say it with conviction, they move like it, they act like it, they become it. I know this isn't going to be easy. I know you've been conditioned to respond a certain way.